All right, good evening, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. Can I have the salute to the flag, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Both?
Here.
Mrs. Boyle?
Here.
Mr. Farinella? Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mr. Panisi?
Here.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Here.
Mrs. Wolak?
So she's trying to get on.
Yep. Mr. Cassio?
Here.
Mr. Chapman?
Here.
Thank you.
In accordance with the terms of the Sunshine Law, adequate notice of this meeting was posted in all school buildings, the administration building, the borough clerk's office, police headquarters, public library, 4 newspapers, and tap into on January 9th of 2020. Please be advised, there's no smoking on school grounds, inside or out, at any time. Please silence all electronic devices, and pursuant to District Policy 0167, each statement made by a participant shall be limited to 3 minutes duration, and no participant shall speak more than once on the same topic. I would like to give everybody the telephone number to call in if you do have public comments that you want to make. I would like to remind you that standard protocol does apply, where you would have to state your name and your address prior to making your statements. If you would like to, the number is 908-754-4620, extension 1680. I'll give that again. It is 908-754-4620, and it is extension 1680. Or you can raise your virtual hand and we will acknowledge you, and you can participate in that manner. At this time, are there any agenda additions or deletions? All right, seeing none. Any comments from the public on proposed resolutions? I'll give a second, see if anybody calls in. And no virtual hands raised. Okay, so moving along. Resolution to approve prior board minutes. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Yep. I saw Mrs. Miller say motion, but.
So moved.
Second.
No
Second.
voice.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Mrs. Boyle?
Yes, on the minutes from May 6th, please add on page 7, Shirley Thompson's name next to Kathy Herman. I thanked her for helping the residents in need and the frontline workers. And on the May 13th minutes on page 6, I asked Dr. Leshak if she would continue to notify the board of snow days, as she has in the past. And Dr. Leshak replied that she will continue to notify the board as she has always done. That's not how the minutes read now.
All right, so can I get a motion to accept the amended minutes as Mrs. Boyle has stated?
Motion.
A second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Get a roll call, please.
Mr. Both?
Yes.
Mrs. Boyle?
Yes.
Mr. Farinella?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Panisi?
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Yes.
Mrs. Wolak?
Yes.
Mr. Cassio?
Yes.
Mr. Chapman?
Yes. Can I get the superintendent's report, Dr. Leshak?
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. It's a long one tonight, so please bear with me. Ms. Maleska serves as our district anti-bullying coordinator and will be presenting the self-assessment scores that were released by the New Jersey Department of Education as required. Ms. Maleska, when you're ready.
Thank you, Dr. Leshak. You were correct in saying this is quite small font. We talked about this earlier. Every year, the district is required to do a self-assessment for each school. and for themselves overall. That score is averaged. The total number of points that you could have is 78. So I'm going to read to you each school's score as well as the district grade. This will also be posted on the homepage. These are the scores for the 2018-2019 school year, and essentially are focusing on our program efficacy and our work in the district for HIB. So for the high school, it was a 70 out of 78. For the middle school, a 70. For JFK, Kennedy Elementary School, it was a 69. For Riley, we were at a 73. Franklin was a 70. Grant, a 74. And Roosevelt Elementary was a 75, leaving the district average at a 72. So again, this will be on the website after tonight's agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Maleska. I'd like to wish congratulations to all of our class of 2020 graduates. This was some year, definitely one that will go down in history. If you have a chance, take a look at the beautiful video that was put together as a tribute to our seniors. The video can be seen on SPTV as well as our district Facebook page. I'd like to thank Chris Cassio and John Fiscola for putting this video together. We've already received so much positive feedback and comments from the public on the tribute, so thank you so much. It really was beautiful. I'd also like to thank the South Plainfield Police Department, the South Plainfield Fire Department, and the EMT squad, as well as all the residents who came out to make noise and give a shout out to our seniors on their official last day in South Plainfield High School. So I just wanted to let you know it's up there, and if you haven't had a chance to look at it, please take the time to look at it. Our in-person graduation ceremony, the plan has been submitted to the state. We're awaiting their response, but I don't think there'll be any issue. We're planning on holding our in-person graduation ceremony on July 8th. First session is 9 a.m. The second session will be at 11:30 a.m. Students will be divided in alphabetical order for the sessions, and the students will be asked to invite 2 guests that will join them on the field, and they'll sit in groups of 3 and will be sitting at least 6 feet apart. No diplomas will be distributed during the ceremony. They'll be handed out prior by the South Plainfield High School administration. An email will be sent home shortly to let our students and parents and guardians know when the pickup date is for the diplomas, as well as the yearbook distribution. We will be planning all of the details with the police department as well as our nursing staff to ensure that we're following all the safety protocols and the recommendations from the Department of Education. I'd also like to wish congratulations to our middle school students who are promoted to high school as well this week, an important milestone in their life. Another wonderful video tribute was put together by our middle school teachers, and it's also listed on Facebook and SPTV for you to take a look at. Another beautiful video was put together for Grant School, also released this week, again, on both of those sites, the Facebook and on SPTV. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Elementary schools released a number of videos over the past week. Again, these are all listed up so that you can take a look at it. Everybody did just such a great job. They're all wonderful tributes to our students as they move onward and upward. So we just wanted to let you know that they're out there to take a look at it. We've also had so many activities that took place this week and Monday and Tuesday. I can't possibly mention them all, but I wanted to let you know that the faculty and staff went over the top to make sure that they did whatever they could for our students to make this year as memorable as possible at the end of the year as it was since we went on virtual in March. I continue to meet with the county superintendents to work on as well as work with our faculty and administration on the reopening plan for September. We will continue to update the plan and enter all the requirements for the NJ DOE and the health department. So we're going to keep doing that. Every time we get some new information, we'll put it on there. We're also releasing voluntary summer work over the next couple of weeks on all levels. So please take advantage of the opportunity to brush up on your skills over the summer. There's also going to be mandatory work that's listed up there. That's for a number of classes that's required. So if you're taking some honors classes or some AP classes at the high school, there's some mandatory work that you're going to have to take care of. I just want to make sure I don't miss this other thing that I wanted to mention. I also wanted to mention a couple of weeks ago, I was invited to a wonderful program that was running at Kennedy School called Go Girls Go. I had the opportunity to meet with some amazing young women who are going to take over the world in the next couple of years. A couple of them said they actually want to take over my job, so I guess I better step it up a little bit. These young women learn to become leaders and know that they're capable of doing anything they set their mind to. So I wanted to thank Ms. Hook for for putting this together. She's the advisor. There's a number of other advisors as well, but she's, I guess, the lead on this. And she also just sent over, and I wanted to display it proudly, she sent over this great shirt for me to wear, and I will wear it. And the back says, "I'm a girl, I am smart, and I am strong, and I can do anything." So that's a really wonderful message. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Our meals program, the school district is going to continue the meals program through the summer months. Any student under the age of 19, regardless of their enrollment in our district or not, will be able to pick up meals starting July 7th between 5 and 7 p.m. at the administration building, 125 Jackson Avenue. Please take advantage of the opportunity to pick up breakfast and lunch for the week. All I ask is that you contact food service at foodservice@spboe.org so that we can have some sort of an accurate count as we're preparing these meals. I'll be listing a couple of parent meetings on the website as well as sending them out on email for the months of July and August. I want to be sure that all of our community is informed with all of the information I have regarding the opening of schools. So when you do get that email and it goes up, please mark it in your calendar. You'll have the opportunity to ask any question you like. I'll stay there as long as you want and answer anything as long as I have the answer for it. And if not, I'll find it out for you. So just know that that's coming shortly. And again, it'll be in late July and mid-August. And finally, just want to make sure that, again, I don't miss anything on here. Finally, I just want to give a very special thank you to our students and parents and guardians for working with the district through this very difficult situation, to say the least. You were on board from the very first day, and for that, I'm so grateful. To our faculty and staff for everything you did to keep our classrooms running, not skipping a beat with instruction, going with the flow, adjusting lessons when I asked, working with the students compassionately, reaching out to students who you knew needed some extra contact, and turning your homes into classrooms. It's clear you'll do anything for your students. To our guidance department led by Mr. Fiera for continuing services while building schedules and putting out fires, that was one incredibly busy department. CST, run by Mr. Brandon, for keeping our students on track and monitoring the progress while we keep our students in compliance, which we also have to do. For our district secretaries, many of whom had to come into the building to make sure that we had vital paperwork sent to our parents, sent to our students, sent to whatever college and whatnot they needed to go to. Everybody knows that they run the building, so thank you to our secretaries. I'd also like to thank our business office staff led by Mr. Benanti and our tech department led by Mr. Estrada, who kept the district running without interruption and answering so many calls regarding tech, payroll, benefits. Also to our custodian, maintenance, and grounds run by Mr. Wiggins. Our facilities never looked better. You are on the front line every day, so thank you so much for that. To our food service workers who are out there in the rain and the cold since March, you made it happen. And some weeks we distributed over 2,000 meals, so thank you for preparing and making sure that that all went out. Let me just, again, I just want to make sure I don't forget anybody. I'd also like to acknowledge the hard work of our administrative team, every supervisor, director, vice principal, principal. Again, Tom Wiggins, our supervisor of buildings and ground. Mary Maleska, my right hand, officially known as the assistant superintendent of curriculum instruction. Mike Estrada for being on call 24/7, and that's not a joke. He is on call for me 24/7. At least since we've been on this virtual setting. To Alex Benanti, our BA, and Murat Yatsisi for making sure we kept all of our finances in order while we're working on bids, RFPs, all the projects that are going on in the district, all of this done virtually. Our central office administrative assistants who completed any tasks I asked them to do, regardless of what time that request came in. Just so you know, I do send texts and emails at 6 in the morning or 12 o'clock at night. It doesn't make any difference. And lastly, I'd like to thank our Board of Education, who were always supportive through this process, who allowed us to adjust our plan as needed and to trust and have faith in the district team. Your support of all of us made this very difficult job that much easier, so thank you for that. South Plainfield, you did an amazing job. I'm very proud to be the superintendent, whether virtually, in person, or whatever hybrid schedule we are going to have to come up with for September. We're not out of the woods yet, but we will get there and we'll be stronger for it. So I just want to say thank you to everybody and wish everybody a very happy and healthy summer. Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Thank you, Dr. Leshek, and thank you, Ms. Maleska, for your report. Let's move along here to go to curriculum and student activities. Can I get a motion?
Motion. Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Mrs. Boyle?
On page 2, number 9, I'm present not voting on the high school specific HIBs. These HIBs are being investigated by the police department. I came in and I read them. The police have multiple information parts that we do not have. I do not have enough information to vote on these. On page 3, there is no handbook for preschool. There is the before and after care, policies dealing with before and after care, and adult ed. So I don't see preschool in that. I've looked at it multiple times to make sure I wasn't missing something. And I have a question on policy. I don't know if we're, all right. My question on policy.
We're not on policy, Mrs. Boyle.
Okay, well, I'm trying to follow the pages. Okay, page,
We're just on, right now, we're just.
okay,
on-
I see. It's number 10. Okay.
Okay.
Excuse me, may I respond
question?
regarding the
I have
preschool?
a question.
Go ahead, Pio. Mr. Panisi.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Debbie, you're talking about the handbooks, but this is approving the programs. I just want to make sure that that's what we're approving. We're approving programs and not handbooks.
I didn't even see the program. I see the program for before and
I don't
after
think, I
care.
don't think you're
No, no,
talking
you're
about,
just-
I don't think you're talking about a program like a course of study program that
Right.
courses. It's just the program itself, the preschool
Right,
program.
that's
I'm
correct,
assuming
Pio.
that's right?
You are, you're approving the running of the program, that they will exist, that before and after care will exist, that preschool will exist in the district.
Okay. Okay, yes, because it says preschool program coordinated by the supervisor of special services. But in the other, on the other programs, it gives the protocols, what you do if a child is sick, et cetera. So I don't see protocols for before and after care, but we're just approving the running of preschool?
That they're going to exist. Yes.
Okay.
Mrs. Maleska, did you have something to add?
No, everyone covered it. Thank you, Mr. Chapman.
Okay. Any other discussion?
Just have a quick question. What information do we not have on these HIBs? We're not getting information, or what? I didn't understand the question. Why do we have police information, or why don't we?
And we
We
just
don't
to-
have police information.
Hang on a second. We just have to be careful because these are confidential student matters. So I don't know
Right.
the answer to the question, but I don't want to tread into pupil confidentiality. So just be mindful when you answer that question about what we're saying.
I think the answer to that is regardless of what comes from one investigation, it doesn't impact the finding of this.
Okay, well, that's, my opinion is, we don't have all the information of what's being investigated. Memes, postings, that's not included in all those HIB reports of the multitude of those posts.
They wouldn't be, but regardless, they wouldn't be included in this investigation. There's one that's a police investigation, and there's another that's HIB. They're not, they have, one has nothing to do with the other.
Okay, well, in my opinion, it does. So I'm present, not voting on that, on the high school.
Is present
other
not
fur-
voting the same as voting no?
No,
It's not
present not voting is almost akin to an abstention, basically.
Okay, well, my comment is present, not voting on the high school.
Okay. Any other further discussion? Get a roll call, please.
Mr. Bowles,
A resounding yes.
Mrs. Boyle,
I gave my comment, present, not voting on the high school.
What about the rest of the?
Yes for everything
Yes.
else?
Yes,
Mr. Farinella,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
yes.
Mr. Panisi,
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Wolak,
Yes.
Mr. Cassio,
Yes.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes. Moving along to policy. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, discussion.
Mrs. Boyle?
Okay, under the prenatal, I have another question. A statement is made that if an employee continues to express milk after 1 year, documentation must be presented. What type of documentation are you requesting? And does that infringe on HIPAA?
It's the same as if you ask for a doctor's note. They just have to give documentation that they're going to continue this and, there's some documentation for it.
Okay,
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Both,
Yes.
Mrs. Boyle,
yes.
Mr. Farinella,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Panisi,
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Wolak,
Yes.
Mr. Cassio,
Yes.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes. Moving along to personnel, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Mrs. Boyle?
On page 5, the Riley School principal will receive a renewal of her contract. I'm glad that she is coming back. Even though she's retired, she can. Her contract expired on 6/30. And I know the other interim principals' contracts are not up yet. David Landy, you're such an integral part of the special education program and this school district. With your continuous focus on the students, you will be missed with your supreme skills and your dedication. Janine Chupko, your dedication of the summer tech robotics program that you began was a great program for the students, which taught them to be ingenious with their creativity. Best wishes. Jen Gill, thank you for your continued dedication to the school district and the students. And Al Hook, your dedication to the district and the children will be missed, but I hope you're still going to do the variety show. And under personnel, van drivers, is the van driver agreement being negotiated because it's up June 30th?
It's not, we haven't had a negotiation meeting. We've had conversations back and forth to schedule the meeting.
Okay, so if it goes over, that's not a problem?
As on their side, it doesn't seem to be seem to be an issue, but we are rest assured we are actively pursuing that.
Okay.
Any further discussion? Get a motion? Can I get a roll call, please?
Mr. Both,
Abstaining on, and I think it's a typo, but it should be section, what is it, 11D, but it says actually 8D. Is that correct? If you look at page 7?
Right. Mhm.
But I'm abstaining on number 24, number 40. That's my spouse.
thank you. Mrs. Boyle,
Yes.
Mr. Farinella,
Yes.
Mrs. Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Panisi,
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg,
Yes.
Mrs. Wolak,
Yes.
Mr. Cassio,
Staying on 11C6, yes on everything else.
Mr. Chapman.
Yes. Moving along to finance, can I get a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Mrs. Boyle?
I'm abstaining on 11 through 18. The requests for proposals for professional services are voted on by the Board of Education. The RFPs are to obtain the most responsive to specifications and also to provide cost savings. I viewed each of the RFPs and expected the entire board to discuss the choices. We are supposed to collaborate as a team and make decisions through the board. The Finance Committee recommended each RFP. There was not a written communication to the board as to why each RFP was being recommended. The decision remains with the entire board. Some of the professional services are on the high end, and again, there was no written explanation as to why the Finance Committee was recommending each RFP. Also, under the Treasurer of School Monies report, why under government funds, and there is another section, there is 81,000 in checks outstanding, and in the other place, there's $86,000 in outstanding checks.
I can certainly look into that and get back to you. I don't have it in front of me right now, but I can look at it after this meeting and I can shoot you an email.
Okay, and also under that, the school district that received cuts in state aid will not receive further cuts, but will remain with those cuts that they were given. Also, the districts that were overfunded would still receive state aid reduction equal to 23% of the amount by which they were overfunded. And 156 million would be used by and provided as an increase to the underfunded districts. So I don't know if that changes anything with us. Hopefully it does. That's it.
Is that it? Mrs. Boyle, we had an open discussion about all the RFPs in executive session last week. What issue was it that you had that we didn't discuss?
That we didn't have anything in writing of why those RFPs were chosen.
Oh, it's writing. That's the issue with you? It's not
I
the
said
discussion
that-
that we had in executive session? We discussed every single one of the RFPs in detail in executive session last week.
Okay, it wasn't discussed as to why those RFPs were chosen by the
Every
finance.
single one of them was discussed, and the reason was given why in the executive session last week. Every
Okay,
single one of them.
And my problem is there was nothing in writing. We did discuss it.
Oh, so it's right. Okay, so at least
We
you know we
discussed
discussed
some
it.
of it, yes, but not
No,
the
no,
total
Miss-
reasons.
Okay, Mrs. Boyle, which RFP did we not discuss?
The
I
ones
mean,
that were submitted.
this is a great grandstand, but which RFP did we not discuss?
Oh, you're so wrong. It's not a grandstand. This is not how we operated in the past.
It doesn't matter how you operated in the past, got the district to where it was in the past.
Oh, okay. And how many other board members were part of that in the past? I'm not going to get into an argument. These are my opinions.
That's
There were
fine, but Mrs. Boyle, if you are saying that the board did not,
multiple submissions of
excuse me, I'm
RFP. We
speaking.
did not discuss them.
Which RFP did we not discuss?
The stack of RFPs that were received, we didn't discuss all those. And what the difference was of why they were chosen over the other ones?
Mrs. Boyle, we absolutely discussed that in executive session last week.
Okay, I don't.
And on top of it, we voted on each one of them in executive session last week, and you had no problem with it.
We voted on them? No, we did
Yeah,
not
we
vote on them.
We absolutely had straw polls on all of them last week in the executive.
Oh, the straw polls again. Okay, I don't remember a straw poll ever given to all the board members that were sitting there. Because in my opinion, we did not have all the ones that were submitted for the different RFPs, we did not discuss that. We discussed what was being proposed.
Mrs. Boyle, you asked several questions about every single RFP as to why they were being recommended.
Yes, but
Okay,
what
well,
about the
but
other
you
ones?
just said you didn't.
I asked questions, yes, but we did not go over why the other proposals weren't accepted.
We absolutely did.
Okay, that's your opinion, not mine.
Mr. Panisi.
Yeah. The RFPs, I know the Finance Committee made the recommendations. The RFPs were available for every board member the entire time that they could look at it. And they could have looked at it, Deb. And
I did.
In that meeting, okay, when it was reported what the committee was going to recommend, definitely everyone was asked if there were a question on any of them. And there were some questions and they were answered. So I don't want anybody out there in public thinking that it's not done openly. It was absolutely done openly, and there's no interpretation of how we heard it or whatever, because that's exactly how it went. Everybody had an opportunity to say something. Everybody had an opportunity to look at the RFPs, and I've been in many boards over the 25 years, and no, not everyone was ever interviewed, ever, okay, all the time. So I think it was very appropriate as what we did, and information was available to everyone, and everyone did have a chance, and there was some discussion on certain things, especially the architect and things like that. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows, yes, it was discussed, everybody had an opportunity, and this was not done as just a push through. just because you might not agree with the recommendation, you have every right to vote no, but don't insinuate that information was not there.
I went in for an hour and a half and went through every RFP.
But that is fine, which means
Yes,
you
it
have
is
the
fine.
information, which means you
Yes.
have the information and you could have asked your question. So
I
don't
did.
insinuate that we did not have that opportunity. We did. Okay, so don't.
Oh, don't tell me what to do. This is my opinion.
No, your opinion.
You're-
You didn't say
okay,
your
and
opinion.
mine
You
is fact.
stated- Yeah, you're stating it as fact, and it's not. It simply isn't. And if we need to go back into executive session tonight and rediscuss it again, we'll do it.
Oh, well, I don't have my paperwork with me. I didn't know we were going to do that.
Alex, do you have the paperwork? Are you able to pull it up that we could discuss it?
I have all the prices for everyone that submitted something, yes. I do not have the RFPs in front of me though, no, but I have everybody's prices.
You know what? I'm not going to vote for executive session because everybody had the opportunity to hash it out. If there were any questions, they could, and they had a week to look over the RFPs and come with questions. So I'm not going and go over this because of this nonsense right now.
Nonsense? That's your opinion.
No, that's right. That is my opinion
Yes.
based on all the true facts that were just said by us.
Okay. That's your opinion.
I don't understand the concern. As the finance chair, we discussed this, we had a meeting, and then in executive session, the finance chair, myself, we discussed what our recommendations were. And we had an open discussion as to why this, why not, and we went across each one. Everyone was a different reason. I don't understand why all of a sudden today, we're putting on a show to act like we had some kind of conspiracy theory to try and I'm being honest with you, Ms. Boyle. To try to approve these appointments for next year, you're acting like the rest of us all had some kind of conspiracy. It was an open, honest discussion. There was no arguing, there was no fighting, there was no controversy. But yet today, you're acting like it was something completely different than it was. And I honestly, I'm insulted that you're putting the show on right now, acting like we did something wrong.
It's not a show.
Let me finish.
It's not a show.
We're trying to move this district
You're
in the
doing the
right
show.
direction. Can I finish, please? You had your chance. We are trying to move this district in the
Another one.
right direction. If you want to keep you talk and then I'll talk. Because I'm going to talk like an adult right now. You want to keep interrupting? That's not professional. You go ahead and then I'll finish.
Then stop making accusations.
Okay. So what I'm going to say, and nothing relating to you, we are trying to move this district in the right direction. All right. We have gone leap years from where we were 4 years ago. We are in a financial stable position. Okay. Other districts lost a state aid. We did not. Okay. We absorbed $860,000 in a reduction in state aid. Okay. Let me finish. I don't need you to chirp. Let me finish. Thank you. Where we are today is leap years from where we were. We did not lay off anybody. We're ready to take a hit from the state aid, and we didn't. We're in a good position. We absorbed this COVID crisis. We were in a position to put these teachers and the staff and the students and the parents in a position to succeed. We were light years above everyone in this state, okay? Look at where we are today. And then here you come today. We are getting ready for next year with a lot of unknowns in September, okay? We need to move forward, not backwards. We don't know where we're going to be next year, virtual or not, halfway, we're not sure. Okay, we don't know what PPE we need to buy. We don't know if we're going to be virtual. We don't know. But you are trying to take us backwards. We're trying to move forwards, okay? These committees have done a hell of a job this year. The staff has done a hell of a job, the teachers, the admin, and the superintendent, okay? And look where we are. And why are you trying to go backwards and condescend us that we are trying to have a conspiracy theory? It's insulting to everyone involved. I'm done.
Mr. Farinello?
Yeah, I just want to say, I think what we're doing right now is not productive, and I think we should absolutely table this discussion for now and move forward with the board agenda. I think it's not needed right now. We're coming to the end of this school year. The board has done a very good job this year. This is not what we should be doing right now. We should be moving forward with this agenda. And if there's another discussion that needs to be had, I'm hopeful that we will plan for that, and that this is not the time for what's happening here, in my opinion. That's just my 2 cents.
Thank you.
And I think And then that's and I think we are a better board than what I'm seeing right now, and I want that. I want us to keep moving forward here. So I appreciate everyone's remarks, but I think let's get back to the agenda if we
Yeah,
can.
Mr. Farinelli, I respect you. I respect absolutely you. You know that 100%. But we can't have it perceived as though this was not completely discussed by everybody in executive session last week.
Understood. No,
Okay.
I'm not suggesting. I'm not
Yeah,
suggesting
I
that.
could-
I'm not suggesting that at all.
And I'm pretty sure that you will support and agree with the fact that we did discuss this in executive session last week.
I agree with that. No, I do agree. That was clearly we discussed it.
Thank
That's not my point. Is I would like us to stay on point. We have a lot of important things here, and that's my purpose of my comment.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Panisi?
Yeah, I'm just asking to call for the vote because it's,
Yep, okay.
it's yeah.
Can I get a roll call, please? A vote?
Mr. Bove?
Yes, and the reiteration that everything was spoken about in executive.
Mrs. Boyle?
I feel that everything wasn't spoken about in exec. That's my opinion, and I abstained 11 through 18.
Yes on everything else?
Yes.
Mr. Farinella?
Yes.
Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Panisi?
Yes.
Mr. Sesselberg?
Yes.
Mrs. Wolak?
Yes.
Mr. Cassio?
Yes.
Mr. Chapman?
Yes.
Thank you.
Moving along, we are up to public comments. I'll give the telephone number out again if you would like to call in to make a comment. And again, standard protocol will apply. Name and address, 908-754-4620, extension 1680. Again, that number is 908-754-4620, extension 1680. Or you can throw your virtual hand in the air and we can do it that way. So we'll give a minute here and see. Dr. Leshak, is anybody calling?
I have something that showed up 3 minutes ago, but it wasn't open then. So somebody called 3 minutes ago. Should I wait to see if they could return again?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Estrada, I see somebody has their virtual hand in the air.
Yep, I'm going to allow them to speak right now. So,
Okay.
Ms. Kristen Keefe, you have the floor. We can hear you. Christine Keefe?
Okay, you got it? They're good? Am I good?
Yep, there we go.
Sorry about that. My name is Christine Keefe, 3177 Park Avenue. I just wanted to commend the district on the phenomenal job you guys did in this crisis. I as a teacher myself in another district, I'm just so impressed with how South Plainfield ran, and I just wanted to say thank you to the teachers, the administrators, counselors, top to bottom. It was so impressive. That's all I had to say. Just thank you. Thank you, Dr. Leshak. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Keefe. That's very nice, and we definitely appreciate. And I know the educational team certainly appreciates the positive feedback. So thank you very much. Okay. Any other virtual hands or telephone calls?
That person did not call back, but for all I know, it could be that my warranty on my car is running out because that comes that comes through a lot.
Right. Okay. So moving along, we're going to go to board member comments, and I'm going to kick it off tonight. First of all, I'd like to personally thank all the teachers, the administrators, and everybody who was involved in educating our children this year. The challenge that we got faced with starting on March 13th was unprecedented, uncharted waters, and you all have, shown how adaptive you are, and that's one of the key quality characteristics of an educator is being adaptive. And you all, you just did a phenomenal job. It's something that South Plainfield, we can brag about for a lot of years. I mean, it's unfortunate that we had the circumstance that we had to be in, but I've got a lot of peers and colleagues and friends who live in different towns. And I got to tell you that there's very few other towns that did the job that you all did. And, thank you so very, very much for for all the hard work and for all the dedication that you guys gave. We really, on behalf of the whole board, I say that we all appreciate that. Congratulations to all the students. You guys, if you're watching right now, you were so strong and so resilient. This was not an easy time for you. We know that. I bet that the first, 3-4 days, it was like really cool. Yeah, we don't have to go to school. We're going to do this virtually, but we all know, because most of us on the board here have children, and we witnessed what they were going through, and it was a trying time for you guys as well. So kudos to you for having the grit and hanging in there and strong through it all. Congratulations to all the award winners and the scholarship winners. There's a lot of videos and everything that was going on, and we've seen a lot of students who have received awards from all different walks. And I want to congratulate each and every one of you for that, and for all the scholarships that you guys have been awarded and worked so hard to receive. Congratulations on that as well. Congratulations to all of our seniors. I'm really looking forward to our July 8th graduation. I'm so happy that we were able to have an in-person graduation for all of you out there. Is it ideal? No. Is it going to be good? Yes. Is it the best we can do? 100%. So we're out there, and we're very, very happy that we could do that for you. Congratulations, 8th graders, for moving on up to the high school. It's going to be an exciting time for all of you. Congratulations to all the 4th graders for moving up to grad school. It's going to be a lot of fun. We had, I was talking to some of the kids the other day, 4th graders. They're excited to get their lockers, and that's all fun stuff. I want to thank the Board of Education for all the support that everybody on this board gave to the administration and to the teachers and everybody else during this, very difficult time. They came to us with different questions and different circumstances and situations that nobody on this board, a lot of you have a lot of years of experience on this board that have never seen before. So I want to thank everybody for the board for being, supportive of the administration, and Dr. Leshak and Ms. Maleska and, everybody else that, is involved in that. And, to that end, I want to thank Dr. Leshak and Mary, Ms. Maleska, and everybody else in the administration for a fantastic job, just a superb job. Thank you for making us so very, very proud. But more importantly than all of that, thank you for putting the students at the top. You have always done that. It's never been a doubt. And during this period of time, you all stood up and said, the kids are the most important, and you did a great job. And I'm proud to call you friends, colleagues, and to be on this board with you guys. Thank you so much for your efforts during this extraordinary time. Okay, any other board member comments? Mrs. Miller.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to just say good luck to all of the retirees, best of health, relax, and enjoy your well-deserved retirement. And thank you for all you have done over the years for all the students of South Plainfield. I watched a number of videos. The South Plainfield High School Scholarship Virtual Presentation brought in over $105,000 worth of scholarships were awarded to well-deserving seniors. So, and I'd like to thank everyone involved, but especially Mr. Ferreira, Mrs. Nancy Flannery, Mrs. Melissa Zawacki, Dr. Melissa Bauman, and Mrs. Terry Pileggi for all your work, not only on the video, but for the whole scholarship process. To all of the South Plainfield High School scholarship recipients, I would like to congratulate all of you for your continual demonstration of excellence, achievement, and dedication in the areas of academics, activities, community service, and leadership. You are all well deserving of the scholarships you received. Continued success in all of your future endeavors. I also watched the middle school graduation. I want to thank Mrs. Richkis and Mr. Whalen for their virtual graduation ceremony presentation. It was a good job. To our 2020 middle school graduates, you should all be proud of your accomplishments these last 2 years. High school will be the beginning of a new chapter in your life, a chance for a clean slate. Get involved and take advantage of all the high school has to offer you in the way of academics, arts, athletics, and extracurricular activities. Always challenge yourself to excel in these areas. These next 4 years will fly by quickly, so enjoy your last 4 years as South Plainfield students. You are all unique and special individuals, and we are proud of you. Remember to follow your own dreams and make your high school experience the best it can be. Congratulations. To the administration and staff, you are all to be commended for all you have done to get the district through this difficult time of COVID. Virtual classrooms allowed students to continue learning. Parents' questions and concerns were answered. Tutorials and resources for everyone were provided. You have all had to face many challenges these last 3 months, but everyone joined together to make the virtual world work for the sake of our students. No one knows what September will bring. There are many scenarios being reviewed, but know that whatever happens, you are truly appreciated for all you have accomplished, especially these last few months. To the teachers especially, you are all making history as the first teachers to face a challenge such as virtual learning during COVID. Being a teacher these last few months hasn't been easy. You maneuvered the hurdles and had the skills to get your students through the last 3 months to the finish line, at least for now. You took a new learning environment that you had no time to prepare for and without many of your physical learning tools and resources, yet you managed to turn it into a positive experience for the sake of your students. You are all continuing to play a major role in all of your students' lives by being a good role model and mentor. You've been patient, supportive, and have believed in your students. You've encouraged them and challenged them. You have been there for them whenever they needed you. Words can't express how much gratitude and genuine appreciation I have for each and every one of you for all you have accomplished. To the entire staff, the summer will bring its own set of challenges as we prepare reopening plans for September, but I hope everyone has a truly enjoyable, restful summer.
Finish, Mrs.
And
Miller?
then, yeah, one more thing. And then lastly, the 2020 South Plainfield High School graduation. I want to thank Mr. Deal, Mr. Peach, Mr. Richkis, and Mr. Fuscola for a wonderful virtual graduation presentation. Also to the students, Viza Rizba, Lee Solko, Braden Debrinio, and Obian Ibiku. You all gave wonderful speeches. They were truly inspiring. Well done to each and every one of you. And I really have to admit, I was teary-eyed while I was watching this video. As to the South Plainfield class of 2020, as you embark on the next chapter of your lives, don't look back and regret the things you did or didn't do. Instead, look ahead to the great things you are capable of achieving. Don't be afraid to take risks, to seek adventure, but most of all, follow your hopes and dreams. You can all make a difference in this world. You all have the talents and abilities to make this world a better place. Remember to make this next chapter count. You are all unique and special individuals. Believe in yourselves. Don't live someone else's life. Don't follow someone else's dream. I wish you all much happiness and success throughout your life. Hold your heads high. Be proud of yourselves for you for what you've accomplished over the last 4 years, including all you have been through these last 3 months. You will always have a home here. My heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2020. And also to the department wards, I just want to thank Mr. Deal and all the teacher presenters for a great presentation. Congratulations to all the recipients. You should be very proud of all your accomplishments. And lastly, please, everyone, enjoy your summer, be safe, and remember to be kind to one another.
Mrs. Boyle.
Yes, congratulations to the class of 2020 for Riley School, Kennedy School, Franklin School, Roosevelt School, to Grant School students who are moving to middle school who is moving to the high school, and of course our high school students. You're commended for being strong and staying tough. Condolences to Mickey Rubileski and her family. Condolences to the Joy Prasad family. The video of the graduates was a great honor to the seniors and their families. I hope the parents that had difficulty trying to view that evening, last night, were able to find how to view that. Thank you to the high school principal, Bob Deal, and the students for sharing the celebration of your graduation and all who participated in the celebration. The Athletic Booster Club was not able to host their annual letter winner dinner, which we've done for the past 13 years. This is due to the COVID-19 mandates. The students received a blanket for playing a sport for 4 years, not necessarily the same sport, and students who played a sport for 2 and 3 years received a canvas bag with the white tiger's head on it. They also each received gift cards for the restaurants in town. Thank you to Principal Bob Deal, Athletic Director Kevin McCann, Vice Principal John Foscolo, Barbara Whitefleet, Mickey Riboleski, and the 5 volunteers who gave out over 90 gift bags, and Dr. Leshak for attending. The Senate Education Committee, the Senate Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions Committee held hearings about strategies for returning to school safely, which included the Education commissioners from all over the United States. The House Education Committee is scheduling hearings to examine the pandemic's impact on budget cuts and lost learning and assessing the impact of COVID-19 on public education. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced an additional waiver extension which will allow all children in all areas to receive free meals through the USDA Summer Meals Program. This was a bill sponsored by Senator Duggan many months ago. The U.S. Department of Ed is proposing regulations concerning equitable guidance within the next week. The impact of the Ed guidance, which calls for a change under the CARES Act, an allocation distribution for non-public schools, will have a significant negative impact on public education. George Helmley, the governor's chief of staff, met with the leadership through Educational Excellence Group, which is LEAD, and the DOE for approximately 15 hours. And the Commissioner of Ed met on Sunday, June 14th, reviewing concerns and questions from all over the state about when school districts will receive guidance on reopening schools. Public health and safety of the staff and students are the most important factor, and increase in COVID-19 is possible if schools reopen too early. Also, Senator Duggan's Bill S-2542 passed unanimously. That allows municipalities to suspend certain zoning requirements during COVID-19 for businesses and land use. Thank you.
Any other board member comments? Mr. Both. Unmute yourself.
All right, there we go. Last month I brought it up about how Trenton was going to kick around the idea of using our special ed students as guinea pigs. And actually, he did allow it to happen. Officially, summer programs, basically for our special ed students, can be held in person. I'd like to commend Dr. Leshak and her team for sticking by their guns and still wanting to have a virtual program for our children, especially our special ed children. This is a group of individuals that's at risk from a health point of view, and using them as guinea pigs to put them through the summer program is ridiculous. I'd like to thank, again, Dr. Leshak and all of these other districts out here that are not going to give into this and still maintain virtual programs. All right. My last thing I just want to say is congratulations to all the students that are graduating this year, but also to our students that are going on into the military. To celebrate that, in my background here, I have a Marine Corps flag and an Army flag. From my understanding, we have graduates that are going into both those branches of service. Congratulations, good luck, and thank you for serving our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Both. Mr. Sesselberg.
Thank you. I like the birds in the background. The term 2020 usually refers to great vision. However, even those with exceptional eyesight could not have seen what the year 2020 has brought us. Congratulations to all our students, teachers, staff, and administrators who navigated the new paths that were forged in their educational and personal lives. You will all be stronger for it, and a special thanks goes to the parents and guardians who helped along the way. You're a big part of our students' success. We all could write a book on how to handle ourselves in this situation, and we hope it's a book that would never be needed again. Congratulations to the high school graduates and those students moving on to a new grade in a new school. Many great rewards lie ahead of you, and the community supports you as shown through the noisy expressions over the past few nights. Please take your experiences of the year 2020 and set your vision for a sharp, focused life ahead of you. You've earned it, and have a great summer.
Thank you, Bill. Mr. Panisi?
Yeah, this will just be short. I agree with all the kudos that were given by everybody. I'm not going to repeat every single one. It was just an amazing year, an amazing thing that the district and the teachers and administrations and everybody pulled off. And And someone, I mean, another parent who was another teacher who talked to us, said, don't you work for another district? And I said that long ago, this district was way ahead of the game, and I'm sure we'll be way ahead of the game come September. But, just kudos, all the kudos that were given, I just agree, absolutely. We had the best teachers, best students, best administrators, everything, and proud to be a part of it as a board member. But it was just awesome, and good luck to 2020. And that's it. Just have a great, safe summer.
Thank you, Mr. Panisi. Mrs. Wallach?
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations again to all the graduates and thank you to every single person who helped make this possible for the end of the year. Thank you.
Mr. Farinella?
I want to just add one thing to all of the thank yous that are out there. As a parent, I want to say thank you to everyone, and thank you to every other parent who was able to change their life, change their schedule to make sure that their children were able to access and support the programs that were offered. We could not have done that without you. As a parent, I'm thankful for all the work that's been done, but thank you, parents, for all you've done. Congratulations to everyone. We've made it through 2019-20, and next year is going to be a good year.
Thank you, Mr. Farinella. Mr. Cassio?
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. I just want to echo everything that we talked about the graduates. Congratulations. Best of luck. I'm glad we're having an outdoor graduation for the seniors. I want to thank everybody involved, the teachers, admin, Dr. Leshak again, the Board of Ed team, getting things accomplished this year. Parents, these kids have been cooped up. Hopefully they're getting outside. We've got a new playground going on at Riley. We got some new basketball hoops going on at Kennedy and Roosevelt. Let's get these kids outside on video games. Talk to your kids. We've got a lot of things going on in the media today. These kids need to be spoken to. They've been cooped up. Mental health is an important thing we want to work on in this district, and we continue to work on it. And, we've made great strides, and we're going to continue to move forward. Let's work with our children and explain things to them, because a lot of things are confusing to them in these times. So I just wanted to make that clear, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cassio. All right, I believe that was everybody. So at this point, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion.